IMU was scared of him. Not just worried, scared. The most powerful being in the One Piece world refused to send another holy knight to Elbaf because of one giant. His name is Loki, and today I am going to show you exactly why he might be the most dangerous character Oda has ever put on paper. When Loki was first mentioned, most fans completely ignored him. He was just the prince whose girlfriend ran away. That is it. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expected what Oda was actually building. Because what we got is a character with 2 devil fruit powers, a legendary weapon that even Yonko-level fighters could not lift, and a backstory so tragic, it completely changes everything you thought you knew about him. Let us break it all down. First, who is Loki really? Because the story Elbaf told about him was a lie. Loki is the Prince of Elbaf, son of King Harald, and half-brother of Hadrudin. But here is the thing. From the moment he was born, the giants of Elbaf already feared him. Why? Because of his ancient giant blood. He was born with horns on his head, demonic eyes, and a level of raw strength that no normal giant has ever matched. The people called him the Cursed Prince, not because of anything he did, but because of what he was. And that was just the beginning of his tragedy. Now, the backstory. And this part broke readers 14 years ago. King Harald made a deal with the world government. He wanted Elbaf to be recognized as an official nation. Sounds good, right? Wrong. The deal had 2 faces. Harald became fully controlled by IMU through something called an abyss contract, and the world government had one demand. They wanted Elbaf's warriors as soldiers. Harald refused, but he had no way out, so he called Loki to the castle. And when Loki arrived, he found his father being stabbed by his own guards, possessed, losing his mind, and begging his son to end it. Harald asked Loki to eat the legendary devil fruit of Elbaf, use its power, and kill him, because only Loki could do it. So Loki did. He killed his own father, not for power, not out of anger, because his father asked him to, and the giants saw none of that. They only saw their king dead. And Loki, standing over the body, he was chained underground to the roots of the treasure tree Adam, with sea stone shackles for 14 years, alone, for saving everyone. Now, his power. And this is where things get insane. Loki ate the Ryu Ryu no Mi Model Nidhogg, a mythical Zoan devil fruit that had been locked away in Elbaf's royal vault for centuries. Nobody could eat it, not Harald, not Jorl, not Jarl, who were considered the strongest giants in the world 300 years ago. None of them were worthy. Only Loki. So what does this fruit actually do? It turns Loki into the biggest dragon in the entire world. I want you to really think about that. The biggest dragon in the entire One Piece world, and because of his ancient giant blood, his dragon form is even larger than it would normally be. So large that when Loki flies, day turns to night beneath his wings, and in this form he breathes lightning, pure, destructive lightning. He calls it Thorheim, and in chapter 1174, he wiped out an entire army of nightmare monsters with a single blast, one shot. But wait, it gets worse. On top of the dragon devil fruit, Loki also wields a legendary hammer called Ragnir. Now, Ragnir is not just a weapon. Ragnir ate its own devil fruit. The spirit of the god of war's squirrel companion has been living inside the hammer for centuries, guarding the Nidhogg fruit, waiting for someone worthy to claim it. And with Ragnir in his hands, Loki can also control ice. So think about this. With his dragon devil fruit, he has lightning. With Ragnir, he has ice. And as a Western dragon, he can also breathe fire. Lightning, ice, fire. 2 devil fruit powers, 1 character. The only other person in One Piece to have something like this is Blackbeard. Let that sink in. Now, Haki. Because, of course, Loki has Conqueror's Haki too. Not just basic Conqueror's Haki, advanced Conqueror's Haki. The kind where you coat your body in it, and your weapon, at the same time. And with that Haki, he killed King Harald. Now here is why that matters. At that point in the story, Harald was considered stronger than Rox D. Zebek. Let me repeat that. Stronger than Rox D. Zebek, the man who had Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido, all on his crew, was weaker than Harald, and Loki beat Harald with 1 finishing blow. Even Shanks and Gaban together could not do what Loki did that day. And after the fight, IMU himself was strained. IMU, the ruler of the world, was hurt by the aftermath of Loki's power. And that is why IMU refused to send another holy knight to Elbaf. He was afraid of what Loki would do to them. Now, the most exciting part. What does Loki mean for Luffy? Because here is what Oda has been building. Loki calls himself the sun god who will end the world. Luffy is the sun god who will free it. One brings dawn, the other brings dusk. Liberation versus annihilation. And in Chapter 1174, the drums of liberation start beating, and the giants look up, and they see 2 figures arriving together through the clouds. Luffy and Loki, 2 sun gods, side by side, not fighting each other, saving the children of Elbaf together. Oda is not making Loki a villain for Luffy to beat. He is making him a mirror, the dark version of everything Luffy represents. And that is far more interesting than any fight. So let me ask you something. Is Prince Loki actually a villain? He was born feared. He killed his father because his father begged him to. He spent 14 years chained underground, protecting a secret that would have saved his reputation. He declared war on the world government to protect the people who imprisoned him. Oda did not create Loki to be scary because of his power. He created Loki to be scary because you will never be sure whether he is the villain or the hero nobody recognized. Drop your answer below, villain or hero. I read every single comment, and if this video hit different, subscribe, because we are just getting started with Elbaf.